And I've been to other first grade classrooms for comparison. Like night and day. I mean, I've been to other schools that sat in first grade classrooms and saw how they're taught and what they're learning, and it's like night and day.
So what do these first graders do after their 20 minutes of instruction? Like after an hour, are they like running up and down the aisles? And
No, they have to go to the other centers and they're supposed to do something.
Yeah.
They're supposed to figure it out by osmosis what they're supposed to do and how to do it.
yeah, you're right. That doesn't do justice.
Well,
I agree. I mean, because there's class.
yeah. Amen. That's just what I was hoping you'd think.
Huh?
Oh, okay, good. Good.
What's that? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, we got two of them?
Yep.
Okay, so November and January.
Do you?
No, November, December, October, November.
Oh. I don't see October.
Yeah.
I don't see December.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, all right.
Anyone here? In case you do this.
Now, we got two of them too. Right, two of them. Everything?
That is mine.
This is yours.
That is from a meeting in Charleston.
Oh, okay.
Here. Did you want that? You said you wanted one? Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is from Arlington.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to.
That's for me.
Well, I made five. I have one.
There we go. Correct. October. Okay.
Thank you a little bit. But I have chest pain. But I've been to the hospital and then said I was going to
Ethan.
Well, now that we've shuffled 4 million papers, are we ready?
I'm ready.
Everyone ready? Okay, we'll open the meeting. We're a little bit late, but. Okay. We have the minutes of the last meeting. Okay.
I gave it to you.
Okay.
I'll share.
Okay. Okay, everybody here?
Here.
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 Okay. We will look over the minutes of our last meeting in October.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the meeting of October 17th.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. We needed a motion on the summarized yearly activity report.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We need to approve on that.
Yes. On what now?
On the summarized yearly activity needs. Pass to page 2.
Okay. Yearly activity report, okay, oh, yes, okay. Everybody looked over the yearly activity report?
Got it.
Okay. I'm looking. Very succinct. Can we vote on this?
Make a motion to accept the yearly summary reports as written.
I'll second it.
Okay. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Now where is I can't even find my agenda for tonight. I know I have it in there. Here it is.
Pardon? Was this agenda passed down?
No.
Oh, okay.
Next is the report from the zoning administrators for summary.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I've got 2 pages for you. One's the October, we had 8 permits totaling over 500,000. In November, we had 4 permits totaling a little over 400,000. And December, we had 1 permit for about 13,000.
Okay.
May we hear who pulled permits?
Pardon?
May we hear the report as opposed to in summary, as to who exactly pulled the zoning compliance report?
You want it listed?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. Nothing other than numerous magazines have you as far as correspondence. Old business wind turbines, Rosemary brought in this. Everybody got one?
I passed them out to
Okay,
everybody.
okay.
That was from a meeting I went to at Arlington where they were discussing the turbines there.
Oh, okay. What does this mean? Sound pressure level exceeded 90% of the time.
The definition.
These
These
are-
are definitions.
This front page is all definitions of off-grid, inverse-side, small wind energy systems. I don't know if we really have to be worried about this right now,
No.
or we can, go through the material that we
Right.
have and,
Right.
do something later
Consolidate
on
it
with
up,
it.
right, consolidate what we've already had.
And I believe Patrick has some, I believe you have some too, you have some ordinances on it too.
I've got a couple. But I can explain it first.
Okay.
That ambient sound level, that's what, that's the background, what you normally hear on the street, okay? And
It's saying the turbines exceed that 90% of the time?
yeah. So, for example, if you've got a wooded area, and there's the ambient sound level of the deer and the muskrat and
Right.
whatever else making racket. Then you put a road through, so that would then be the normal noise on that road would be your total ambient sound level. So that's above what's normally excluded. So that then anything above that then would be excessive.
Oh.
You might be asking, on this, this is basically another windmill type ordinance.
Yeah.
What we want to do is go back and read this and compare it to the other things.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, now, one of the things that I did do, the original one that I gave you last meeting, there was one section in there about painting, about making the color of the tower.
Oh.
I have it, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought that that's probably not appropriate, so I changed my original copy to read something else, and I can make you all copies of that.
Okay.
It's just one section where I took, in fact, I'll give it to you exactly. Hang on a second. But if you're gonna read this, I'd like you to go back and reread the one I submitted.
Right.
Under standards, under section 5 of standards in my copy, it says appearance, color, and finish. The wind generator and tower shall remain painted or finished. And I stopped it at that. And the original had a bunch more information behind it. I'm just saying, whatever it looked like, just keep it that way.
Yeah.
So I will give everybody a copy
Okay,
of this, so that you can compare this to what Rosemary submitted.
Yeah, well, we have 4 now.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Maybe more.
Right.
I don't know, I got I don't know. I like that number, they're pretty much.
It seems to cover,
Mhm.
covers an awful lot of the pertinent information here. Okay, are we done with windmills for right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's put it on.
Can I go back and ask some questions about the request for zoning here? Is that okay? Sure. Is that appropriate time? Hey, Pat, I see in the November, there was a request at 139988, January 215 for 5,000 square foot farm market at $400,000. And then I see permits issued in October. There's one at 13988, and permits issued in November. It's at the same address for 6,000 square feet for $400,000.
Oh, you know what, yeah, it's,
Is that two different
that's the
permits?
same building.
It's the same building.
Same building.
So was it permitted, was it issued in November, or was it issued
The
in
building permit was issued till November.
November? So this one in October is null and void.
I may have just simply missed that, and I was using the same format. So there should have been only 3 issued in November, but yeah. Scratch that top one off.
Scratch the top one off from November?
Yeah, scratch it off in November. It was issued in October.
Okay, well, was it a 5,000 square foot thing or 6,000?
5,280.
280.
Scratch off which one now, how much?
It's the first one in the November.
The first one in November one. So the total value added in November is down to $30,000,
Yeah,
right?
30,000. Yeah, it slowed right down.
Yeah. There are some questions floating around about that one, obviously. I guess I'd like to know a little bit more about it, if you don't mind.
It was an agricultural building. I spoke with the building inspector about it. No building permit is required on state law.
What is it exactly? When he says 5,000 square foot farm market, are we talking about
He's processing blueberries.
processing
Selling.
blueberries and selling blueberries? Is it an existing type building, or is it?
It's an existing operation. It's a new building.
New building. Okay.
And under the zoning ordinance, it's a principal permitted use.
It's already permitted, so you can sell the wherever you're processing, is what we're saying.
No, that type of use is permitted without review by the planning commission.
How is that?
This is
Well,
not
the
the time
ordinance
for
is-
comments, excuse me.
That's the way the ordinance was written.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, where exactly is this? Is this town, where is this on 250? Because I don't know. Without going down there.
14th.
Yes.
At 14th.
Yeah, it's just,
14?
yeah, right at 14, it's right in the corner.
Right, 14th Street.
Okay.
Or Avenue, I guess it is.
It's Stokes, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, I think it's just north of 14th, I believe. Yeah, it's Stokes.
Yeah. It's on the north corner. It'll be on the southwest corner.
I don't remember.
On the west side, I can't remember what it
Yeah,
is.
it's on the west side.
Yeah, but I think you live over there, Larry. You live over there.
Yeah.
It's on the southwest corner, isn't it?
14, you're talking about?
14th and 215.
Let me ask you, I'd like to look at it from a map, on a map.
Yeah.
Do we still have this little map in the other room?
Sure.
Do you have this little,
Yeah, I got one right here.
oh, do you?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't bring the map with me. I remember looking at it on maps, but I couldn't tell you which one 14th it is, so I looked at the map again.
It's on the north corner. Northwest.
I'm just curious as to where it is, if you don't mind.
Just a minute, it's right
Yeah.
where we're at here.
It's 14th.
14 and 215,
It's right on the corner of the road.
right in the corner.
Which corner?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's this here.
Well, he has that large.
Yeah, he said everything.
Okay, there's a process, right? I remember seeing the process
Big
plan.
buildings across here, over here,
So this guy wants to basically build an open air market for blueberries.
No, he wants to build a processing plant for the blueberries. It's just to pack them. He's not doing anything other than packing.
But it's not packing.
We went over and over and over this, the building inspector and I, because the builder brought in something completely different that the owner didn't want. He was trying to sell in lot bigger operation than we actually wanted. When we actually, the building inspector and I finally got to talk to the owner, all he wanted was a place to store his blueberries and pack.
Okay, going back to the stuff that you gave us in the October one, it says a farm market. In the November one, it says agriculture building, so it sounds like the agriculture building is really which
Right.
way.
Yeah, he's gonna be selling the product from a farm market type situation.
Would be selling blueberries or blueberry plants?
Blueberries.
Okay.
You know, we have Kim Stokes here, and she can answer your
Oh,
question.
I'm sorry.
That's
Fire
okay, I
away.
didn't want to interfere because I know it's not open comment. It is actually a farm market,
Okay.
yes. We will be selling blueberries, that's probably how that came about. And I believe the first one that you had, that you crossed off, the 5280 square feet,
We didn't cross that one.
no, that's the one that should have been crossed off.
Oh.
The first time we submitted it, we were gonna go smaller. And then we changed our mind and made it a little bit bigger and we submitted.
That's why I got it on my.
Yes, yeah, that's why you have it. Yeah, because I worked with you a few days there to get that information to you, and then we were gonna put it one direction and ended up turning it another direction where there would be more room and
Yeah,
made it a little bit bigger, but it is a farm market, fruit, vegetables, blueberries.
they had to turn it sideways on the lot in order to meet the setbacks.
Oh.
So, just for, because I don't want any stuff happening later on, does the permit say an agricultural building, or does it say a farm market?
The permit says an agricultural building because under the state building code, that's what it is.
Legally, that's what it is.
The zoning approval,
This is farm stuff, we're not about it, the state regulation.
I just want to, I want to be crystal clear.
the
about
zoning
what
approval
we're
was
permitting.
for an agricultural farm market.
I mean, the state regulates all of that.
And we went over how they keep it to that zoning classification.
We had our stand on the corner of 50
Yeah,
and 250.
40, 50 years ago.
What I don't want is any ambiguity or confusion at some later point as to what we issued a permit on. You know, I want to be, if it's an agricultural building, which the definition automatically allows the sale of products in it, then that's okay.
That's okay.
Okay, that's okay. As
It's
long
a
as
permitted, principal permitted use under the zoning law.
under the zoning law, it's okay.
What code section is that?
Yeah.
Can I ask Tim one question? Can I ask one question?
Go ahead.
Tim, is everything gonna be grown on your farm that's gonna be sold?
I'm not sure yet. And if that changes, then I can look for it, but as of now, that's what we're planning, yes.
You said
What, well, I'm curious, isn't that zone residential there?
a farm can do anything?
No, the parcel of land where the building's going to be located.
No, it's blueberries in there now, I believe.
No.
Is it on that corner?
No, there's not blueberries there.
Oh, it
Not
was
right
at one time, wasn't it?
No.
No.
Are we
Not on
talking
that
about
corner.
the,
It's the south, it's the northwest corner.
oh, the northwest corner?
The
Okay, I'm
northwest
sorry, I was,
Uh-huh.
Right across from that blueberry
right, okay.
patch right there.
So what is it currently zoned as?
Agricultural.
Agriculture.
Well, how did it get agriculture when it's a residential neighborhood with a house on it before? With, on an acre of land, with houses all around it?
You're looking at the map?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I sat on agricultural land also.
do you?
It's just an old orchard.
So Larry's house is on agriculture also?
What's that?
Larry, you're in agriculture also?
Are you a farmer, Larry?
Am I a farmer?
It doesn't matter what it's doing.
It don't matter what you're doing.
It's running agriculture.
That whole section.
Everything in, south of, Well, except for the Firewing 33, everything south of 3 and 4, until you get to Beachville, is zoned agricultural.
Yeah, that's right.
Can we continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Bob.
It's all right. No problem. We set aside the old business. Now we have the, I don't know if they're new or they're just revised or what.
Also, we have to set the
Yeah,
meeting schedule for
we couldn't, just, couldn't find the bylaws for the planning commission.
Oh,
This is a sample. It's not adopted at this point. If you find things you need to change,
right.
just let me know.
This,
Yeah. Change it before you adopt.
Can we put this off to next, until next month,
Absolutely.
legally then?
Since we haven't read it yet.
We need to read them.
I make a motion that we table the bylaws till the next time we meet, and that way everybody gets a chance to go through and
right.
make any additions or corrections on them.
Second?
You know, and I believe there was a copy of the bylaws.
I think it was,
Yes.
I don't know where they are.
What, the old copy maybe?
Yeah.
I have them someplace, I can't
I know, I
find them,
had a
but I know I
copy,
got
and you
them,
know
'cause
what?
I've seen them last
They're
summer.
probably out of date. And this was designed around the new planning.
Yeah, because I've been cleaning my office, and I thought,
So they should have been updated anyway.
okay, so this is table, and you second it?
Jack
Yeah,
second.
Jack seconded.
Okay.
Is there discussion on that right now? Yeah, we can go all in favor.
What's that?
Can we have some
Oh, yeah.
discussion?
Vote on it.
The only question I have when I did, this set of minutes, this set of bylaws, the first thing it says is, first meeting of the year, we're supposed to elect officers. The question is, can we do this? Do we need to elect officers?
Well, we did it
Still
last-
table this?
We did it last year without.
Yeah, that's what I thought, I just want to clarify it, so, yeah, I'm all for tabling this, as long as we can still elect
Right.
officers without these, yeah. The only thing is, we got a motion on the floor, let's get rid of the
See if we-
motion, and then we can talk about anything you want.
All in favor?
Motion by Hurley, second by Bowen, to table, voting on the bylaws.
All in
Until our
favor?
April meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, now we're to I spoke to Patrick, how long ago, Patrick? Three months ago,
Yeah.
on the ordinance in regard to the number of outbuildings. And he said that we could look at that. Now, what do you say, Patrick?
Well, the only thing I have to add on is that when we created, the text was largely left alone on the limit on accessory buildings for the R2 district.
Okay.
When it included all of the lakefront platted lots. When we pulled those out, I don't remember any discussion on that. We left a limit on the number of accessory buildings in the R2 alone.
Yeah, I think we
And then
did.
it's been recently brought up that, what happens if somebody's got 40 acres, why couldn't they have another more accessory building? And quite frankly, with all the small lakefront lots gone, that would be a reasonable question.
Who's going to answer it?
Now, I was looking at the map, there still are a few R2 lots along the ways. Most of them are quite large or really narrow and long. So, kind of up to you as to whether or not you want to remove that restriction. on the number of accessory buildings allowed in the R2.
You made a change.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times though, a property owner is not going to put an accessory building on a lake lot by the water.
Yeah, the problem was with the smaller lots in the old flats where you had people had a lot, they were trying to put too many buildings on a
Smaller parcel.
small parcel. And there's.
Why would you want just a portion of what you're talking about, Pat? Why would you want accessory building on a lake lot, on a lakefront lot? I mean, more than.
I think it was more the backlots we were worried about. We actually made provisions for that in the RO district. So that people, as long as they had it on the same tax bill, they could have it on the backlot. So, I don't know what the original reasoning was. Okay, about why there was the limit, because it was already in the ordinance when I found it.
I don't think we've ever changed that as long as I've been.
When was that passed that way?
Well, you wasn't here.
No, I don't know, I know.
It was years ago.
Oh, okay.
My only question is, since we've taken all of those lakefront platted lots out of the R2, is it reasonable then to look at the remaining R2 lots and say, well, maybe they could have more than one large accessory building?
Is there a reason why there shouldn't? I mean, I can see the rationale for having more than one building, absolutely.
I have more
Yeah.
than one building.
I mean,
Because you're not on lake property.
No, I'm on a pond property.
is there a rational reason why we couldn't up the number or make it, allow a constant that says, you know what I mean, case by case basis? We allow more lots if they apply, more buildings if they apply for it for a reason.
Yeah, I think so.
If we're gonna do that, then we're gonna say, okay, you get the additional building when you have more than 5 acres, or more than 10 acres, or, just set some.
Well, right.
We still don't want
And the size.
5 buildings on a
1 acre.
100-foot lot.
Right, no, that's true. I don't think that's what we're talking about. So how do we?
Well, why don't we just kind of go over it and table it until the next meeting and come back to the next meeting and.
Make some recommendations.
Yeah, we should, know what we're talking about by then. Hopefully. Everybody can look it up in the ordinances.
Yeah, because we have some buildings too, we're not getting along with that, they can be about
Don't make any difference, it's been in there for
for
years.
a long time.
Yes.
I can't ever remember changing that or anything like that.
Does that need a motion or not? I mean, I'll make a motion that says that we all go back and take a look at it, but I'm
Just a discussion.
it's a discussion, so I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
We all go back and take a look at the ordinances. and
What
see
you can
if
do
we-
is simply put it on your agenda for next time.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
If you'd like, I could work up a sample of what it would look like.
That would be fantastic as far as I'm concerned. At least give us some, is there any chance of you sending that to us before the next meeting?
Yeah.
So that we can have a chance to process it a little bit and come up with tweaks as we might see fit?
So I'll make a motion that we table this until the next meeting, provided
I don't
that,
think we need to make a
we
motion.
don't have to make anything on it?
No, just a discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because that was on the agenda.
Just make sure Tom writes it down, so.
Okay.
I got it written. Put it on the next
Next agenda.
agenda, yes. Okay, public comments?
For your accessory buildings, right now I do have 40 acres on Saddle Lake. My house is sitting off the lake. I have lake lots in front of my house. I have a cottage in front of my house. But what I can do is I can split my property, take off a piece of land and tie it to my cottage, and then I could have my other accessory building. I could take my other lot buy off another property, have another accessory building. And it just doesn't make sense doing that. But your ordinance allows that right now, but because I have 40 acres, I can't do anything because it's in R2 and I already have one accessory building. But I can get around it by
Right.
splitting off my property, and I don't think that's really what this board wants anyways. But, I think I sent you at one time a graduation that I got out of another zoning ordinance that said if you had, for less than 1 acre, 1/2 acre, you could have one accessory building that size. So at 1 acre, you could have 2, and then it jumped up to 5 acres, you could have 3, and it jumped up to, I think it went up to 7 acres, or not 7 acres, up to 7 buildings, but it got almost to 50 acres for that. And then you could use that for RO and anything else up the line.
Could you resend that
That could
again?
get kind of out of hand too, though, so.
Pardon?
I said that could get kind of out of hand also, though.
Well, you got 50 acres, you can't split it once you get the building there unless you tear the building down. That's the other thing I had on there, is if you put the building on there, it had to say it's so many acres.
Could you resend that, at least to me anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody have to. Okay. Anybody else? Dixie?
Yeah, you know, that's what, Ken was saying, you know, he's saying he's in an R2, he's only allowed one accessory building, whereas you're saying from North Lake Inn all the way to Breedsville is agriculture, so there they can have however many buildings that they want. So what is the logic amongst or between these two thoughts? I mean, they could look just like Ken's house, and they could have 6 buildings because you're saying it's agriculture from North Lake to Breedsville. And just because he's a little bit east of there, he can have 1 building even though he has 40 acres.
This isn't something we did.
No.
Yeah, but it's something that you can fit.
Well, I think
That's
they're
what
talking
we're trying
about
to do.
that.
That's what we're talking about.
We're looking at it.
That's what we're talking
Yeah,
about. I think it's silly too.
yeah.
Another comment I had, is you have meeting minutes that you approved, you didn't read them to us, none of us out here got to know what was in the meeting minutes. And it would be nice if we could get a copy of those out here so that we know what you approved. There might be something in there that we may disagree with, be able to public comment on. And, the second item that you approved, was invisible to me, what you approved. And, maybe if you got stuff that you know that either you read it to us or you provide us a document so we can follow along and understand what's.
Well, one was the last meeting, and one was the summarized yearly activity report.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you got the minutes of last year's meetings, which you do have all of them, that's the summary,
I have what?
last year's minutes of all the meetings.
Is that what the summary is?
Yeah.
The summary doesn't tell you how much money or how many, total amount of money that was, added to the township, and how many building permits were issued, and how many non-compliances were found, and so all you got was the meeting minutes?
This is for the planning commission,
This is just the activity report
You did
of what
provide me
we did.
what the planning commission did. It's a summary of what happened in a minute, anything that we acted upon. I guess, so it's pretty nil.
Well, I'm just, I probably instigated this report, and what I understood the report by law to be is a report that said,
You can ask that, what the report
well, Pat
was
probably
big,
doesn't
but
know.
I read it also out of a little red book today.
This is our 2010 report too,
Right.
which I have right here.
Yeah, I read that one, and that's
No.
hokey pokey, but that's all right.
That's all that's necessary. Just a summary of what we did.
And that's basically what
And
this one is.
it's turned into the lower book. So,
So it's basically 4 quarterly meetings were held. One was a hearing on July 18th. Question the posted of this hearing, why surrounding landowners were not sent letters. Meeting was postponed. Postponed time turned out to be correct. Landowners did not need to be notified. special meeting, one special meeting held September 22nd. July hearing was not needed, as this was a recommendation to the Township Board for approval of the farmland preservation application. Mix-up between attorney and clerk. Recommendation to approve the application was sent to the Township Board. Clarification of ordinance. Clarification 4.02, number 3. What's that?
There was some wording where.
Wording.
This found or word left out.
Oh, okay. Amendments recommended, none. Site plan reviews, none. And that's the report.
Nothing about the noise ordinance that I thought was supposed to be generated and presented to the board. Is planning commission even working on that?
I don't think we even took it up.
No, I thought Dixie and Lee,
Yeah, I don't remember the board ever being presented with anything.
no, you guys were working on that and we never got anything, if I
No,
can
no.
remember correctly.
No, we never gave anything to this board, we gave it to the township.
Right.
The township has it, they've had it for a year and a half, 2 years now.
That's
Well, I thought the
right.
planning commission had to permit that to the board, since it's a noise ordinance that goes for zoning.
Ordinance is going for.
We gave that directly to Dale.
Yep.
Dale has it, and I've talked to Larry about it, and I've talked to Dale about it, okay? They know about it, and I can produce it again, I know you can do it,
Yeah.
so, but it was never presented to the zoning board, because we were asked by the township board to go see if we could find a better zoning noise ordinance, and we did, and we presented it to them, and we're just waiting for them to approve it, that's it. It's nothing to do with zoning. There's nothing, I never presented it to this board, never had an intention to.
Well, maybe it ought to be presented to this board so they can give it to the township board to act on it.
Yeah, just
Well,
Well, that's the process.
All we do is give it to them again, and they've already got it, evidently.
They do have it.
Well,
Just handing it up doesn't accomplish anything, to me.
they'll bring it back through us if they want any action on it, correct?
I don't know,
Don't know why they would.
don't know why they would either.
It's not a land use.
Yeah.
No. And the October minutes, Abernathy, Fry, Hurley, Curtis, and Bowen were here. No was absent. Motion to approve the September 22nd? Yes. Zoning report, none. Correspondence given. Old business, more discussion on wind generators, more material handed out by Abernathy. Public comments, questions on special meetings that was held September 22nd. And we found out, what was it that we didn't really need to have the meeting because of something, I can't remember.
Was that the farmland one?
It was the farmland.
Yeah,
right.
Because
They weren't asking for a variance on the zoning, they were looking for a tax exemption, is what it was.
That was
Yeah.
right, and then they asked for the wrong thing to start with.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it was never a
Now I
zoning
remember,
issue.
yes.
Tom, I have to agree a little bit with Ken in that I think we ought to have the minutes out ahead of time on the table, so if somebody
We
wants to read
used to.
them.
No,
I guess what?
you very seldom ever have minutes
Oh,
available or the
let's just make sure
agenda.
we do that. Now, we'll make sure we do that.
We'll
Okay.
do it. It'll take 2 seconds to run them all.
Patrick, the noise, there is a section in our ordinance that says that when you're doing a special use permit, that you have to go and evaluate some criteria. One of the criteria there is the noise that it's gonna create the business in the area, which to me tells me that you need some sort of reference base to be able to enforce the noise if you're looking at it for noise, just like when you look for light, noise, road traffic, et cetera, when you're approving a special use permit. Right now, you have nothing to do with your noise, where before we used to have, and then they decided that it wasn't enforceable and wanted a new one, yet we now still don't have a new one. Will you agree with that?
The noise ordinance is, the problem with having a noise ordinance within the zoning ordinance is that you can't get rid of anything that somebody's doing now.
Right.
It's all grandfathered in. So all the attorneys are recommending that you have a standalone noise ordinance so that you can take care of issues that will come.
I
I've heard more comments about,
Yeah.
from different government agencies, they pass them and then they can't enforce them and what have you.
Yeah, the problem, the way you deal with noise in the zoning ordinances through setbacks, the township couldn't afford the kind of equipment you need.
Right.
No, not based on our research.
Not with Dixie and I found, was that you could do it with $100 meter.
Yeah.
You could do it with $100.
Would it stand up in court?
Sure, that's the thing.
I mean, you can measure it with, you can get a $20 meter to do that, but it won't stand up in court.
Apparently, the case that we brought before the township is in place in Traverse City. It's been that way for the last 6 to 8 years. And it's in the city, stood the court cases in Traverse City. So that's why we thought it was a very good noise ordinance. And it was not required to have any $2,000 meters.
Yeah, that's the standalone ordinance. That's not in the zoning ordinance.
You're right, it's a pure noise ordinance, which I think needs to be addressed by the township. And Dixie and I have done our due diligence to provide it to the township. You know,
Well, we'll ask them tomorrow night what they're doing about it.
I can get here, I'll ask them too, okay? Ken, this is kind of an open discussion, Ken started talking. Can I have a discussion a little bit with Ken? Okay, Ken, one of my goals is to make sure that these meetings are as open as possible, and make sure that all communication is done correctly. What I'm struggling with is I received an email from you in reference to this farm market event, but it was only addressed to 3 of the board members. And I'll be real honest with you, Ken, I'm not going to respond to anything that's partially delivered to 3 of the board members.
Who was I missing?
You didn't have Rosemary, you didn't have Dick on it.
I don't have Dick's email address.
But
Yeah.
to the best of my knowledge, you sent it to 3 of the 5.
You poured anything on us, I said.
See, I don't have.
You got my permission.
Okay, but you can understand that I'm trying to communicate as much as I can, but I feel compelled to only communicate in this room,
Sure, I don't have a problem.
okay?
Well, you can think about it before you get here, and that's all I ask.
Okay. And in the note, if you do that again.
I think I sent it to you 3, I think,
Rosemary.
who's there that resigned? Seaman's gone, so I didn't send it to him, and I just don't have your email.
I'm trustee 2
Trustee 1 or trustee 2?
I'm trustee 2.
Okay.
Yours is trustee 1.
Huh?
And I stayed next.
But I get a return from my fee. Well, I was probably sent it trustee 1.
Okay. In that case, if you don't have it, just please put in the note, please forward to the rest of the board,
Sure.
and we'll take care of it.
I'll do that.
Okay? Thank you, Ken.
Or you can just leave the stuff down here and it's passed out.
Okay.
Well, a few things that come up through the meeting that I have questions on. One was the R2 district and the number of buildings, which resembles a question I had sent to Patrick Hudson and someone else. Now, you have ag, we have less than 10 acres and 10 acres or more. Less than 10 acres, you're allowed how many outbuildings?
Thanks, Ed. 2.
Okay, with a limited square footage. Ag, you can build as much as one. Pretty much. 10 acres or more. 10 acres or less, you have a restriction. My neighbor, I brought this up to Patrick Hudson, because my neighbor has 2 5-acre parcels. He has more than 3 outbuildings, more than the square footage allowed, on 1 5-acre parcel. Patrick Hudson said, well, he can just combine the parcels, but they're not combined. They're already split into 5-acre parcels, but you are allowing him to violate the zoning ordinance.
Well, getting back into, we're not an enforcement board.
But you're talking about the R2 district, and can say, well, he could split his property and then have legally have these parcels, where now he's got all one big parcel, but other people in the, community are being allowed to violate the ordinance. And you bring it to the attention of the zoning administrator, and nothing's being done. That's one thing I questioned. The other, one was, back to the farm market. You said first it was 5,000, and then there was a 6,000. Then you were corrected and said, no, it's 5280. Kim Stokes spoke up and said it's larger than 5280, but the correct footage was never given.
It's on there at 6, I believe.
You said it was 6?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Kim said that's it. 6,000 square feet ag building.
100 by 60 feet.
Yeah,
6,000 square
6,000
feet,
square
that's
feet.
written on there.
Then, a few years back, there was a tax abatement allowed for a large building to Stokes. Now, and it says factory entrance on County Road 215, so wasn't that built for processing blueberries?
I don't remember. I remember MBG getting one, they had a big tax abatement, and, I don't
And
remember.
Stokes also.
Okay, but what is the point?
Okay, so
Well,
what
you're
you're
saying
saying
the
is,
farm market's being built for processing and selling. If they've already got a large building,
I corrected that, I said it's a farm market.
Right. It's farm
I
market.
never
for
said it was
processing, Patrick
And I
Hudson said
corrected that.
processing and selling blueberries.
did you hear Kim? She just
I
said.
corrected
Yes,
that.
she corrected it.
And he has the correcting on his paperwork. I'm sure it's like a lot of people are sometimes a few months, unless you have time to review what you're going to be asked about, maybe things get kind of, but he has all the correct information.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah.
What's the farm market?
What's a farm market?
Yeah,
Have you ever been to a farm market?
I don't know, what is one?
It's a building where you sell fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
I think we all kind of know what a
What?
farm market is.
What was that comment?
No, I didn't know if it was a
I
technical
said
term.
60. You know what, really, we're having a very, very impromptu meeting here, and you know what? He is the chairman here, and I believe that with all due respect, you know, you should, whoever is in the audience, should address their comments to our chairman, and then he will go from there. And
Well-
not just talk between yourselves out there. I don't think that's proper.
You talked about transparency. The zoning administrator reports are not giving all the details, they're not giving the names, the addresses, the dimensions, the price, the taxable value. You're not giving all that information.
Is the zoning administrator report even required at this?
No,
No.
it's not.
There you go right there.
But they've got the addresses and the square footage and
The
the
names,
approximate value.
not giving the names, the addresses.
Give
It's
them
not,
addresses.
it's not even required that one be submitted to us every month.
That's how it's always been, since I've been here.
I'm just continuing what Mary had done.
Right, that's,
But there's nothing in the law that requires it.
no. But I'd say the address is there, the square footage and the approximate value. And that's how it's always been, that's what it always
Well, we
married.
used to get names and addresses.
It's got addresses.
The address is there.
No names.
Well, the only thing I can tell you to do is submit a FOIA request.
Well, exactly.
And then you can find out
write about
exactly who it is.
the FOIA.
What is the, can I ask, Linda, what would be the point of that? I mean, it seems like.
What is the point of not having it? What is the point of,
We don't need it.
What do we need it for?
We don't even need the report.
that you don't wanna, allow everybody to know what everything's going on in,
We
within
don't
the
even need a
township?
report.
Don't they, Mary used to read the report at the board meeting.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's not being done anymore.
But that
Patrick,
was
this
just
is the
because
first
you
meeting
started doing
Patrick
it.
Oh.
attended.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I just thought it was, we always did it. But if we don't need it.
It's senseless in a way to have it, because it really don't concern us that much, so.
Linda, in an effort to be as open as we can, and what does that accomplish? So we can, maybe we can figure out what the answer, the real answer for you is. And what does it accomplish by having the names?
Okay, well, if they said there was, what's the street down here that you live on?
53rd.
53rd. Okay, there's, a large pole building and a house on 53rd. Going to be a farm market. You wouldn't wanna know the address, you wouldn't wanna know the name.
But we know the address.
The address is on the report.
If I wanted to find out more about it, I mean, I can't imagine you can't walk in here and find out anything I wanted to find out about it.
And the same holds true for you. If you wanna find out anything, you go into that office or you submit a FOIA and you get the
Yeah, and
answers.
then you gripe about all the FOIAs.
I have a public comment. I noticed that the office hours have changed between 9 and noon on Tuesday through Friday, so there is no way that Linda could ever come here during business hours.
On Saturday,
It says assessor only, I thought.
beg your pardon?
I think it says
Assessors
assessor.
are on Saturday, and
But-
so is Larry every Saturday. So you have a board member and you have our assessor here on Saturday. And any other time, you know what? Everybody is as near as a phone or as near as a computer if she has any other questions. That's how Ken gets all his messages out. Don't you by computer?
What would you have us do, keep the office open 40 hours a week?
No, I'm just saying that when Rosemary's saying for Linda to come down to the office, it's not office.
That's
And
Lynn's
no
problem.
evening hours, no weekend hours.
You know what? Wait a minute. First of all, when we started opening from Tuesday through Saturday, we got complaints because we're using electricity, we're using heat. Now we are open from Tuesday through Saturday, and now we're getting complaints that we aren't open evenings. We figured Saturday would be adequate for people to come. And if you need to meet someone here, all you have to do is call them on the phone and say, I need to talk to you. Can you please meet me at the township hall? Or if not, go to their house.
Oh, I've requested something from the township hall, and it was told I had to be here either, well, now it's Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, 9 to 12, which I cannot do.
Can you come Saturday?
I can come Saturday, I can come evening, but this isn't available to me.
Come Saturday.
If you lived in Geneva Township, the office is never open.
I don't live in Geneva Township.
If you did.
I don't live in Geneva Township, I don't care about
So your
problems in Geneva
opportunities
Township.
are
I'm
much better here than they are there.
concerned about the issues here.
And
in
you know,
Columbia
you're discussing something that we have no control over on this board
Well,
whatsoever.
Rosemary's bringing it up.
I don't even know why we're discussing it.
Well, it's moot.
It was about transparency, how it started.
I make a motion that this meeting be adjourned.
No, we have
No,
to
we
set
have-
meetings.
Right.
We have to set meeting.
I was gonna second that.
I'll make a motion to set 2012 meeting as of this year of January, April, July, and October. 16th, and the 15th, I believe.
Yep.
Yes,
Don't hold
that
me.
is right. I took it off the calendar.
Motion?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. What was the other thing we have to,
What about officers? Do we have to like?
Right,
like
right.
officers for this upcoming
Hey,
year?
Tom, I don't want to, I really don't want to interrupt you. I just
Go
got a
ahead.
question. Why is your fiscal year not starting at the 1st of April like the township?
I don't have a damn clue.
What do you mean why it doesn't? Because April, our fiscal year ends March 31st, and normally our planning commission is the day before our township board meeting.
what I'm trying to say is, I don't think you need to elect people now. I think your fiscal year is
You're
tied to
talking
the
about
township
April?
board in April. So, you know, if you can, I mean, I'm not telling you, you can't do it early, but I think your fiscal year should be the same as the township board.
Well, but that's just it, it's a fiscal year for the township board.
Well, your fiscal year is tied to theirs because your budget comes from them.
Correct.
But, you know, don't, I mean,
We elected in January last year, but that's, well, the next meeting. That's simple.
Okay with that.
There's nothing set in stone that anything has to be done at this meeting, is that correct?
What's that now?
There's nothing set in stone anywhere.
It would be in your bylaws.
Yeah, that's why we need to read this bylaws, because this set of bylaws says first meeting January of the year.
Right.
Which is today. That's
Okay.
what's the confusion factor for me, so.
well, that's not approved bylaws.
Huh?
That's not your approved bylaws.
It's not,
No,
you're
we
right.
haven't approved it.
No, because we have not till next month.
Yeah.
Right, for next.
April.
In the past, we've always,
Because you have meetings you have one meeting every year, every month.
We went, up until last year, we never elected officers.
Well, at one time, Columbia Township Board's fiscal year was January 1st to December 31st, and then they got changed to April, and
But I mean, John, when I came on, John was the chairman, and he was the chairman until he resigned.
John was.
well, we did have.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, John
appointed,
was
right.
Oh, if the board changed its fiscal year, your terms of appointment would have been based on when the planning commission was created.
Oh, okay.
So if the board had a January fiscal year, then your terms of appointment would have been in January. And you would have had your officers' elections in January after the reappointment.
When we had them.
Yeah. So that's probably why you were doing it in January.
Oh,
Now, everybody did vote yes on setting these, and it all passed, right?
Yes.
right.
Double check.
So we need to check over the, bylaws, and we'll bring them up at the next meeting. And we can elect officers then, or we can elect officers now, I don't really care.
Officers, election,
Well, nothing with dates.
yeah.
What would be your idea on that?
Probably makes it simpler for people, you know, it would depend on when your appointments are up. And you're on staggered appointments, that's probably something we should look
Right, we are.
into.
Okay.
But we appoint officers.
Yeah, you appoint your own officers each year.
What's that got to do with when we're appointed from?
It doesn't have to have anything to do with it. It's just that, you know, if the board had been originally created in January.
That's why we're doing it in January.
Yeah, that would be why it would continue then, but in the bylaws, you can change that. To whatever makes sense.
So whatever is our pleasure, you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, we can just wait till next month, or the next meeting to
Yeah,
elect
it gives you more
officers if
chance
we
to
want.
look through the text they gave you and
Do the bylaws first, and then, elect officers.
Right. If you have some questions about that text, and you want to make some changes, get in touch with me. There are some things you can't change. They've been tailored, these bylaws are tailored to fit the new planning act. There's a lot of things you can just drop out. It was kind of overkill.
Anything else? Anybody else?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
Hello, we adjourn. I can you eat
Not second.
I think the chairman can just declare the meeting adjourned.
Oh.
Depends how you want.
It sounds so much nicer when we all agree.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming, ladies.
And gentlemen.
Including everybody.
Oh.
have is a future map here.
I do, but God knows, there's that in here. Wait, this is future map too. This is future map. Wait a minute, what's this?
Wait a minute.
I have to remember,
Suggestion on transparency?
Two.
farms, if I'm regulated
Not
by
we all
the
need
state,
to
not
get
us.
back before your meeting here.
Yeah, I have a whole lot of,
So,
That
for
is,
control
that
farms,
is
I
a
can
holding
do
of,
people.
meeting behind closed doors, but not
We're talking about.
And that goes to the board also. I go to other,
This is an actual farm is that.
actually, you can watch their meetings on television. They will walk in individually as they ride, sit down, they'll have paperwork sitting there for them to read. No one's here that's discussing or meeting behind closed doors.
That's what it's used as now.
That's the zoning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So therefore, they're putting an agriculture building on a residential.
And for
That's
those
not-
married,
Now, you gotta remember, most of these are future maps you've got here, so.
Well, that one isn't, I don't think, but,
Who won this?
No, I mean,
she's on the board.
they're future
That's the
land use
same.
maps that we have on most of them.
that's
Because
the same
that's
as,
about the only thing we have to do with is future land use. In other words, what you'd like to see in the future.
Benefit the residents here.
And this could be how it's used as residential, or even how it's taxed, but it still can, might be taxed as residential, but it's still something